Hey guys, so I'm here again in the park. I'm gonna go ahead and do Greece now because Greek civilization is a very important one that we should all know. So let's get started right away. So how did the geography of Greece impact its settlement? So mountains and isolated different areas, thus preventing extensive interaction between Greek city-states. They used their body waters for fishing, sailing, and trading, which is why their city-states were located on the coast and were prosperous. So just note some of the keywords like isthmus, archipelago, peninsula, which is what Greece was. And they divided communities, they kept things separated and population divided, so just know that. So now we have like know who Homer was and what he wrote and what they were about. So Homer was a Greek poet. He wrote about epics. Epics are just like stories based on like heroic actions and their whatever. So he wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey. So these two words are about just like the Trojan Wars. He was famous for his epics. Not much about him is known. He was the first and greatest epic poet. His stories were solely based on Greek struggle. The Iliad was based on the last days of the Trojan War and the Greek siege of the city of Troy. The Odyssey was kind of the aftermath of the Trojan War, a sequence of the Iliad in essence. None of these books were written, they were orally kind of written over generations. So they weren't actually written by Homer, but you know, he's like the guy, whatever. Next question. So these are some keywords that you need to know. So first of all, what is an epic poem? Again, this is a narrative poem based on the success of hero stories and are action-based. So these epics are action-based. Then we have, what is a polis? A polis is a Greek city-state. Acropolis is a fortified gathering area placed at the top of a hill. Agora. An agora is an open area that served as a gathering place and market. So the agora is the open market. Like think of it as a market where people can shop things. That is like open. Yeah. Phalanx. Phalanx are just like a wall of shields created by foot soldiers marching shoulder to shoulder in a rectangular formation. Hoplite. A hoplite is a heavily armed foot soldier of ancient Greece. Ah, God, my arm is killing me. So explain the basics of Spartan life. Spartan life. So life was harsh and cruel. Had a huge, powerful army. Citizens were only trained for war. Helots farmed the land. Babies were left to die if appeared weak or not healthy. Women had more freedom though. Education. Discipline was the spotlight, self-denial and simplicity. All of it was about producing an army. So, a very simple civilization as you can tell. Then we have explain. So, the reasons of Greek expansion and the consequences. So it was expanded to maximize trade, deal with overpopulation at home, desire for good farmland. Some of the consequences resulted in the establishment of Greek colonies, the spread of Greek culture and political ideas, the increased trade industry, seizure of power by tyrants, and a high increase of wealth for high-standing persons. Next question. What were early values in Athenian life and what did daily life look like? So there were democratic values for citizens. They believed their cultural superiority and in their role in an empire. Trading was the mainstay of economy. Ships sailed throughout the Mediterranean Sea world, and they did local and long-distance trading. So understand the cause and basics of the Persian Wars, including the Battle of Marathon. So for these wars, you need to know the following. There are 3 battles within the Persian Wars. Greeks settled in a place called Ionia, hence the Ionian Revolt, right on the doorstep of the Persian Empire, which created conflict between both lands. Greece supports the rebellions and Persian revolts by attacking mainland and thus lead to war. Persians arrived to Marathon to confront Athenian warriors. So once the Persians arrived to Marathon to confront Athenian warriors, we know this guy whose name is Philip. Give me 1 second, his name is very weird. Philippides or something, I forgot his name. Anyhow, this guy runs to Greece and he shouts Nike, which in essence means they're just being victorious because they win the wars. So that's why that's a marathon. That's a battle marathon, the 26.2 miles marathon to Athens. Hence now our marathons are 26.2 miles. Yeah, go figure. Next we have describe the age of Pericles. So a leader in Athens known as Pericles, who ruled for 32 years after he died of a spread of a disease where 1/3 of the Athenian population died for having put up a wall and isolated themselves. He was a good leader who was well acclaimed and popular. He created the Parthenon, which was dedicated to the goddess of Athena, and the Delian League, and his actions led to the Spartans to create the Peloponnesian League. He aided democracy and, yeah. So what is direct democracy? So direct democracy is a form of government in which people decide policy initiatives directly. Yeah. So who fought in the Peloponnesian Wars and what was the consequence? So Athens versus Sparta. The consequence ended up being Sparta teaming up with Persia to defeat Athens. However, none of the sides ended up winning. Instead, it said the Macedonia won, but it's not really a victory. But because they just like stood there, laid back, and took advantage of this opportunity before Philip II and his son Alexander the Great conquered Greece because of their ambition. Next, we have what kind of religion existed in ancient Greece? Well, it was the role of oracles. Now, this comes about again. So the religion, which is polytheism, they believed in the 12 chief gods. Mythology, that, like, you have Zeus, Poseidon, Hera, Demeter, Athena, Ares, Aphrodite, Apollo, Artemis, Hephaestus, all of these gods you need to know. Probably you don't need to know, but just know this is kind of the main religion thing they believed in. So the oracles were just temples and shrines that were used to predict the future of the people through the priests and priestesses who would call out to the underworld gods and goddesses for the answers. There you go. Now we have what are some forms of Greek and examples art and examples of their architecture. We have temples, the Parthenon, which was in the Acropolis, dedicated to Athena, naked human-like statues of man to show boldness, the Doric forest built by Polycletus, drama, etc. Who were the primary three Greek philosophers? So we have Socrates, we have Plato, and Aristotle. So Socrates was known for the Socratic method and believed everyone possessed the knowledge to do good. They just needed a slight push. Plato, who was known for the questioning, reality, and derivation to think that humans needed to live in a rational state of mind. Aristotle, known for ethics. He thought higher worlds do not exist. Yeah, that's it. So explain the course that Alexander the Great took during his conquest. And why is he great? Why is Alexander the Great? Yeah. So, I'm sorry. So Alexander the Great, he is the son of Philip II, who was rumored to have been killed by Alexander's mother, who served as a king in Macedonia. He united Greece, re-established the Corinthian League, and conquered the Persian Empire. He was great because he never lost a single battle, or so it is said, but in his life, and because of his conquests. He perfected the Macedonian military. He named 7 cities after him, including Alexandria. He was welcomed everywhere. Egypt, he conquered Egypt and constructed a library in Alexandria, oh god. And that was incredibly amazing. He filled it with every book out there. And he died in his 30s, we don't know why. Either he was poisoned or he had a very bad hangover. We don't quite know that, but you know, the guy was amazing nonetheless. Why was the city of Alexandria so important? So, this was located in Egypt, again. It was important because it grew from a small port of town to become the grandest and most important metropolis in ancient Egypt. And it was founded by Alexander the Great, again, know that. So this was a library that was built for highly sophisticated people, hence it attracted every intellectual pupil from Greece. They would trick, bad thing is that they would trick people and collect photocopy books to obtain a copy of every book out there and gain a repeat. Due to Alexander's small family, no one was able to protect the library. And during Caesar's conquest, he accidentally burned it down, so we'll learn about Caesar soon. So, but that's it.